What is up, YouTube? Today I'm back with another video for you guys today, and today's video is a collection update, and this is a collection update of my PlayStation 2 collection. I have quite a bit of games. Actually, when I was pulling up all my PS2 games, I just counted for the first time in a while, and it turns out I have 113 PS2 games now. And it's a pretty big improvement from last time. And yeah, sorry for the lighting if it's a little bit dark. It's getting dark really quick here. I can't really do much about it, but I have two lights on in the back, and hopefully that keeps it light enough while I'm doing this video. So these games are not in alphabetical order; they're just in random order because I just pulled them off my shelf. And yeah, we'll just go through the boxed games, the special box games first, just because I don't want the boxes to get squished. So the first game I have is SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs. It is, I think it's a third-person shooter. Yeah, it is a third-person shooter, and, it came with this headset in this special box here, so it's just the headset bundle. Pretty common, but, pretty cool game. Put that off to the side here. Next, we have King of Fighters Maximum Impact. This is the special edition with the bonus disc. It's a 3D fighting game. King of Fighters is usually normally 2D, but this one is a 3D fighting game, so yeah, there's that. Oh, gotta focus the camera. There we go. Next, we have Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. It's an RPG by Square Enix. Came with a demo of Final Fantasy XII. It came in a box just because the manual didn't fit with the discs in there, so that's why it came with this box. And then the last of my random box games is the Mortal Kombat Collection. It comes with Mortal Kombat Deception, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Armageddon and Deception are 3D fighters. They're pretty good ones. And Shaolin Monks is a 3D kind of like beat-em-up kind of deal. Pretty interesting. Alright, and now we will move on to just every other game that I have. Alright, first up, Enter the Matrix. Basically what this is like a additional story added on to the Matrix trilogy, and it's really, really cool. I enjoyed playing the Matrix games for the PS2. Very well made. I'm taking too much time already. We'll just keep it really short. Alright. All these games are also either come in the box or complete in box, except for one. So, next one is From Russia with Love 007. It's a third-person James Bond game with Sean Connery. Next up, Eternal Ring by Agetec. First-person open-world fantasy game. It's not very good. Next up, Tribes Aerial Assault. Tribes game. Pretty awesome. Third-person shooter. Next is Red Faction by THQ. This is a first-person shooter. Yeah, pretty much. Next up, Deus Ex: The Conspiracy. This is the first Deus Ex game, and it's pretty cool. It has a choice-based system in it, so it's pretty sweet. Next up is Sonic Unleashed. This was a really weird game. It's like you play as Sonic, but he turns into a werewolf kind of deal. Really, really weird. I never really got that one. Next up is Vex. This is like a 3D adventure platformer, sort of similar vein to Ratchet and Clank. Interesting art style. Haven't played too much of it, though. Next is Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. It's a 3D puzzle platformer kind of game. Really, really cool. It's also like an action style platformer, so yeah, if you're interested in that. Next is Guitar Hero 2. Just Guitar Hero, if no one's ever played it, it's a music game where you play with the guitar. It's pretty awesome. Next is Sega Soccer Slam. It's an arcade soccer game, 3v3. Really, really cool. You can like punch people as you're playing soccer and you have special powers. Really interesting game. Yeah, these are all my sports games coming up right here. I only got like 3 of them or so. FIFA Street 2. Awesome soccer game. Probably my favorite soccer game of all time. It's just really well done street soccer game. Those are pretty much the only kind of sports games I play is soccer games. FIFA Soccer 2004. Main reason I don't even get new FIFA games is just because I have this, and that's all I really need. I don't care about the roster changes. Next is Phantasy Star Universe. This actually has a single-player mode, which is really, really cool. And it's got a... I played this for a bit, and the story's kind of over. It's all right, but it's nothing too amazing. I never finished it though. Next is Starsky and Hutch. This is a really weird game. It's like an episodic game. It's like an episode game where you go and play different episodes of Starsky and Hutch in their car. It's really fun though. Pretty long if I remember correctly. Next is Spider-Man, the game. It's an open-world Spider-Man game. Really, really fun. Highly recommend this Spider-Man game. I've heard number 2 is better, but I've never played it because I don't have it yet. Then we have Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. This is a basically action-adventure game where you play through the story of each individual members of the Fellowship through the last movie setting. I've played the Two Towers as well, and it's the same kind of stuff as this, except in the Two Towers setting. And I really want to get that game, actually, but I don't have it. Next is Final Fantasy X-2. This is the sequel to Final Fantasy X, and in my opinion, this game does not do 10 justice, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but, it is a Final Fantasy game. It is a good game, just not the best Final Fantasy game, for sure. Next is Hypersonic Extreme. This is basically like an F-Zero type clone game, except you get to make your own tracks, and it's really, really cool. This is one of the reasons I bought my PS2 back in the day. Next is, oh my god, I'm so glad EB Games is gone, just for this reason exactly. Goblin Commander, Unleash the Horde. This is why I'm glad EB Games is gone. We haven't had EB Games here in years, but oh my god, buying from them back then was just miserable. Because all those stickers. That's an RTS, by the way. Next we have Matrix: The Path of Neo. Basically, you play through Matrix as Neo, which is really, really cool. Awesome game, by the way. I love the Matrix games for the PS2. Next one is Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. This is the only Star Ocean game that I own, and I've still not played it. I really want to, because it looks like a really long game. It's an anime-styled RPG by Square Enix. And then we have Soul Reaver 2. This is the 3rd game in the Legacy of Kain series. And, yeah. I really, really want to play this, but I still haven't beat Soul Reaver 1, but I really, really should get on that. Next is the only game that I don't have in a case. Half-Life. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. It's a pretty revolutionary first-person shooter. Next we have Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. This is a 3D action platformer. Really, really cool. Lots of guns, lots of cool stuff that you can do. You can customize your ship. Awesome game. Next we have Tekken 4. Tekken games are always great games. If you have any system where you can get Tekken, I recommend it because they're awesome, awesome fighting games. Next we have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. Pretty rare game on the PlayStation 2. It's actually the easiest version to find is the PlayStation 2 version, but still pretty hard to find. It's about a $30 game. It's an hack and slash RPG, pretty good. Not as good as this original though. Next we have Prism Chapter 1, The Dark Unicorn. Terrible game. I got it mainly just because the title seemed ridiculous and this cover art looks ridiculous. Pretty terrible. Looks like a 3D adventure game. I've only played the tutorials, takes forever in that game. Next is Burnout Revenge. Awesome arcade racing game. Really enjoy this game. I've beat it. And the physics in that game are just fantastic. Next we have Aliens vs. Predator Extinction. This is a RTS where you can play as any of the three factions, humans, aliens, or predators. Really cool. Each faction has its own unique mechanics. Only downside of this game, it's only single player. Next game is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. Probably my favorite Budokai game. It's a 3D fighting game. This one is basically in the vein of Tekken. I love it, and I play it so much. Next up, we have God of War, famous hack and slash game that is an exclusive to PS2. I think it's an alright game. Alright, next we have Tsukunai Atonement, an Atlas game. The graphics are really, really dated on this game, but I've not played too much of it, so I can't really say how it is. I believe it's a RPG, though. Alright, next up is Tales of the Abyss. It's a Tales of game, so it's an RPG. Very classic, really cool. If you like the Tales games, you'll probably like that one. Next one is Orphan, Scion of Sorcery by Activision. This is another action-adventure game where you play, where you follow the events of the anime, so. One of the launch games, I believe, too. Next we have Jak 3, Naughty Dog game, action platformer. Really, really cool. Lots of stuff to do in this one. I would almost consider it an action-adventure game, just because you kind of take on missions and stuff. Next we have The Bible game. I got this just because it exists. Terrible game, by the way. Just thought I'd buy it just because it exists. Next we have Godai Elemental Force. I got a lot of crap for saying I didn't like this game before, but it is a action-adventure game. It's 3D, and I still don't like it. Next game is Sly 2 Band of Thieves. Same deal as Sly 3, but the second one. Next we have Killzone, first-person shooter exclusive to the PlayStation system, and the first three are all right, but it's not a great story, but it's pretty interesting. Next we have Demon Stone. This is a third-person action RPG, and fantastic game, great voice acting, really good story. Surprised it's not more popular, really. Next we have Shadow of the Colossus. Pretty popular action-adventure game. Really surprised that a lot of people don't have this game. It's probably one of the must-haves for the system. We have Ratchet & Clank. Same deal as Up Your Arsenal, but this is the first one in the series. We have MotorStorm Arctic Edge. This is an exclusive MotorStorm game for PS2 and PSP. This is a port from the PSP. Pretty well done. Not bad for a PS2 version of MotorStorm. It's a racing game. Then we have Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. This is a Final Fantasy VII action RPG where you play as Vincent Valentine. Really awesome. Favorite character in all of Final Fantasy. Then we have Star Wars Battlefront 2, third-person shooter, amazing Star Wars game, and really, really well done shooter. This is good. we got 4 more stacks to go, so we got quite a bit. Next we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus. Top-down brawler game. Really, really cool. It's 4-player co-op. Actually surprisingly good. I want to get the rest of them. We have Cool Borders 2001. Really fun snowboarding game. I love the Cool Border games. And they're basically just like kind of Tony Hawk but snowboarding. Then we have Dot Hack Outbreak. This is basically like a simulated MMO kind of combat and an RPG. Really, really cool. One of the rarest types of games on the system. I still need Part 4, but it's really, really pricey. Then we have Dot Hack Part 2, Mutation. Same deal as the third part. And Dot Hack Part 1, Infection. Same deal as the other two. Still need Part 4, though, unfortunately. Then we have Star Wars Battlefront 1. Same deal as Star Wars Battlefront 2, except there's no space combat, which is sad. A lot of people like this one better, but I still like Battlefront 2 better than Battlefront 1. We have Xenosaga Episode 1, Der Wille zur Macht. And this is another episodic game. There's 2 parts to it, but this one has mecha in it, and I really want to play it. I just never got around to it. I will play this one day. I really want to get Episode 2. I'm not sure if there's a 3rd episode either. I'm pretty sure there's only 2, but there might be 3. Next we have Kill Switch. This is a third-person shooter. Really, actually, one of the very first third-person shooters that had a cover system that was really, really well done, and actually pretty good in terms of mechanics. Next we have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 1. This one is much better than the second one, but same kind of combat and stuff. Better story, though. Next we have Dark Cloud. Basically like Legend of Zelda, but for PlayStation. That's basically all I'm going to say about that. Never actually played it, though, because I'm not a big fan of that style of game. Next we have Capcom Classics Collection. Basically 22 arcade games from Capcom. Can't go wrong there. Next we have Zatch Bell Mamoto Battles. Awesome fighting game, especially if you're a fan of Zatch Bell. Definitely an awesome game to check out. We have Antigrav for the iToy. 3D, kind of like surfing game. It's terrible, by the way. I'm super disappointed that that game actually barely works. Next game is Destroy All Humans. It is a sandbox game where you play as an alien and you kill humans and you can have all sorts of cool powers and stuff. Really interesting game. I do not have the second one, though. I would like to. Next one we have Oni. I haven't played too much of it, but I believe it's an action-adventure game where you play as this chick on the cover here. Not sure what you actually do, but it's by Bungie and Rockstar, so sounds interesting enough. Next we have The Simpsons Hit and Run, and this is a sandbox game, basically Grand Theft Auto toned down, and Simpsons. I actually really enjoy this game, so it's worth checking out. Next we have Jak 2. Same deal as Jak 3, but, you know, the prequel to that. We have Gran Turismo 3 A Spec, racing sim game for the PlayStation 2. Very well done. I like Gran Turismo 2 better than 3. Not played 4 or any of the ones after that, though. Played all the other ones. I played the first 3, that's pretty much it. Next we have Star Wars Bounty Hunter. This is a game where you play as Jango Fett. It's a third-person action game, and third-person shooter, I should say, but I enjoyed it, but I found it rather difficult. Next we have The Simpsons Skateboarding, and I will say that, yes, I paid that price from EB Games back in the day. Horrible, horrible, horrible game. Do not buy this. Terrible Tony Hawk ripoff. Worst game I have on the PS2. Well, second worst next to the Bible game, and maybe Prism. Next we have Project Snowblind. This is a really cool first-person shooter with a futuristic setting. Kind of flew under the radar, and I think it's kind of a hidden gem. Really good game. Next we have Kingdom Hearts 2. I think this is 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Kingdom Hearts 2. It's a third-person action-adventure game, action RPG. And basically you play as Sora, I believe his name is. I've never finished any of the games, nor played them, but I need to, because I hear they're pretty awesome. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the whole Disney stuff. Next we have Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. This is a very late-released PS2 game, and yeah, it's basically like a visual novel, but with also tactics RPG stuff in it. Pretty cool. Put that over here with these special games, because that actually goes in a collector's edition box. Next we have Kingdom Hearts 1. Same deal as Kingdom Hearts 2, except it's the first one. Never played that one either. I didn't even remember I had this game, but apparently I do. That is Arc the Lad, End of Darkness, and it is a 4-player, well, it's a 1-player, single player, it says. And it looks like a hack-and-slash RPG? Action RPG? I don't know, I don't remember playing this, but I touched all my games for at least half an hour, so I must have at one point, but I don't remember that game. I still need to play it, though. Forgot I even had it. Next one we have is iToy Play. Surprisingly good, really fun game for the iToy if you have one. It's just a bunch of mini games. Next one we have a action-adventure game from the Tekken universe. It's Death by Degrees. Plays Nina Williams in this one, but it's an action-adventure game. Really interesting. I've not actually beat it just because, I don't know. I'm not a big Nina Williams fan. It's actually one of my least favorite characters, but, you know, I decided to get it to try to complete my Tekken collection. I have Tekken Tag Tournament, the first Tekken game for PS2. Basically, it's Tekken 3 with tag system and a bunch of other characters added into it. Can't go wrong with Tekken games. And next we have Final Fantasy XII, JRPG by Square Enix. Really awesome game. I love all the Final Fantasy games. I recommend checking them out if you've never played one. Then we have Final Fantasy X, like one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Highly recommend playing it if you've not. Same kind of deal as Final Fantasy XII, kind of. They all are independent from each other, so you can play any one at any time. Next we have Ape Escape 2. Really, really fun, kind of like an arcade kind of capture game. I don't know what it is, but it's really, really fun. Definitely recommend the Ape Escape games. Next I have Mark of Cree. It's a third person, I think, I'm not sure if it's an RPG or action-adventure game, but I could not stand the first 15 minutes I played of this game. So I never finished it, and I know there's a sequel, and I know a lot of people like that game, so sorry about that one as well. I got a lot of crap for that too, but I didn't like it, but whatever. Next I have X Games Skateboarding, probably the best skateboarding game on the PS2 next to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. This is the more realistic take on skateboarding, so if you're into that, check this one out. Then I have probably one of my favorite games on the PS2. I've already done a review of it. One of the few games I've done a review of. Mobile Suit Gundam Encounters in Space. It's basically based off the remake of the original series that was turned into 3 movies. You basically play through the missions as from the White Base, and really, really well done. Highly recommend it. Amazing, amazing game. Especially if you're a Gundam fan. Next I have The Bard's Tale. This is a top-down hack-and-slash game, but it's really funny because it's a parody game with a choice system as well. I just love this game. It's really, really awesome. Next we have Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Same deal as the other two, but this is the first one in the series. next we have another game that I still need to play. That is Persona 3. It's a JRPG by Atlus, so a lot of people like it. I still have yet to play it, but I've heard really good things about it. Next we have Yu Yu Hakusho Ghost Files Dark Tournament. I thought this would be a good game because it's made by the exact same people that made the Budokai games, but this game sucks. It's terrible. Don't let the shiny cover fool you. This game's awful. And we have Ghost Recon Jungle Storm. This is basically this. I'm not sure which one this is in the series, but it's a first-person shooter where you go through and do jungle missions. It's really cool. I always had a lot of fun with this. One of the best shooters, in my opinion, on the PS2. Next we have RPG Maker 2. This is more of a piece of software where you just make whatever game you want. Really hard to utilize. I still haven't figured it out. I would like to sit down and make a PS2 game one day using this, though. You actually have to know what you're doing, though. It's kind of difficult. Next we have Namco Museum with the 4 classic games. I have this for Game Boy Advance as well, but it's got Pac-Man, Pole Position, Dig Dug, and Galaga. It also includes Galaxian, Pole Position 2, Pac-Man 2, and HD version of Dig Dug. Really, really cool. Worth the value. Last stack of games, guys. Last stack. Alright, and first we got Genji, Dawn of the Samurai. This is a third-person action RPG, and really, really well done. This is the better out of the two. The sequel was made for the PS3. This one's infinitely better, and it's just really well done. Highly recommend that game. And next we have Rainbow Six 3. Basically, this is a counter-terror kind of game. First-person shooter, really well done. We have Unreal Tournament. If you've never played Unreal Tournament, it's basically a first-person shooter, arena-style stuff. Really, really fun. It's got a bot mode. It's really cool. We have Simpsons Road Rage. This is basically a Crazy Taxi clone with Simpsons characters. Really, really awesome. I actually enjoy that game a lot. We have Zone of the Enders. Really cool mech game. A really awesome feature about this mech game is that it has AI that learns your moves and stuff. Really, really unique. I recommend checking that one out. I've got the collector's edition for PS3 of that game as well. We have Twisted Metal Black, another EB Games abomination. Probably one of my favorite Twisted Metal games. I've not played the newest one, but I would like to. But really, really well done Twisted Metal game. Always gave me nightmares when I first played it. And then next we have, I don't know, I think this got messed up because I brought it in my backpack one day in school, and that is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, but the cover's kind of messed up for my backpack. Probably Spiral Notebook. Arcade skateboarding game. If you've ever played any of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, they're like that. Next we have Tekken 5. Same deal as the other Tekken games, but this is the 5th installment in the series. Next we have Burnout 1. Very, very bare bones version of Burnout. It's arcade racer, but just very bare bones. I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy this game, but, you know, if you want to see where the series has evolved from, play that. And then we have Blood Omen 2, I believe this is the 4th installment in the Legacy of Kain series. I haven't played this because I haven't finished the other ones, but it's a third-person action-adventure game. Next we have Maximo Ghost to Glory. This is kind of like an action platformer. Really, really difficult. Very difficult game. It's in the Ghouls and Ghosts series. Alright, last 3 games. Next we have Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. Same deal as the other 2. But the first one. Then we have Savage Skies. It's a kind of like an arcade flying game where you fly on dragons and stuff. Really, really cool. Underrated game, I think. And last is probably one of the rarest games I have for the system, and that is Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. This is a park building type simulator, and where you basically build a Jurassic Park. Really, really awesome game. Highly recommend it if you can find it. And that is all I have for you guys. And yeah, that was all of my games. Got all the stacks up here, and let's just show you what that looks like. There's my box games, and these are all the stacks of games. They are in stacks of 15, or at least they were. So that one has a little bit more. I don't know how that happened. Alright, so that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. If you have any recommendations for my PS2 collection, let me know. I will see you guys next time. Peace.